Welcome to the Edupedia world. The agenda for this tutorial is we'll take a closer look at our first Java program that we created in previous tutorial. Then we'll be modifying our Java program to take command line arguments. So let's begin. So just to recap, this is our first Java program that we have created in previous tutorial, where we created a class hello, have written a main function, and printed hello world in this program. Now we'll study the syntax and the meaning of each line of this program. So let's move forward with that. Okay, so the first line of this program is class hello. So in Java, whenever you have to write any code, make sure it is written in a class. That is because Java is pure object-oriented language. So anything that you have to write in Java in code, you have to mention that in a class. So you cannot write a code outside a class. There has to be a class in your Java code. So over here, class is the keyword and hello is the name of our class, and then followed by opening and closing curly braces. So this is a opening curly brace and this is a closing curly brace. So now once we have created our class hello, we can write any code in that. So over here we have written a main function. So in languages like C and C++, you must have written a main function. Similarly, in Java, we have a main function. The syntax of that main function is public static void main, and then as the argument we pass string args. So the syntax has to remain as it is. You cannot modify the syntax for main. In the same way, you cannot modify the main function declaration of C or C++ language. You cannot do it even in Java. It has to be as it is. The reason is because whenever a compiler wants to run your program, it will first searches for the main function. If it's get a main function with this particular syntax, then only it will execute the code inside it. So everything written in a main function get executed in your program. So you have to write it as it is. You cannot modify it. And after that, we have written a SOP statement. SOP statement means system.out.println statement. This statement is used to print anything whatever we want. So we have written hello world as a parameter in the statement to print hello world on our screen. So now let's see what's the meaning of public static void main. Basically, these are keywords: public static void main, string, and args. Now let's see what is the meaning of public. We have used public keyword of Java so that everyone can use this method, so that everyone can call this method, and it's visible to compiler, it's visible to JVM to execute this. So public is used to make the method accessible from anywhere within your project. Okay, so that's the use and that's the purpose of public. The second keyword is static. So basically, static means this method can be called without creating object of this class. So static keyword is always used to call a method because JVM directly calls main method. It does not need to create the object of class hello. Why is it so? Because of the keyword static. Static enables us to directly call the method just by using a class name. And JVM has automatically recognized the class name whenever you create your first class in that file, and then it searches for a main method. So whenever you try to run a program, you need to save your file or you need to save your program with the same name as a class name. That class need to be a public class. So if the class is a public class, then you can save your class by that name. In case it's not a public class, then it's also fine. but then your class should not include any other class. So a file can have number of classes, but out of them one class should be public that should contain your main method. Or if it is having a single class, it's okay to leave it as it is without putting public in front of it. So static means that we need to just don't create the object of this class and it can be called as it is. So, these keywords can be used with any other method also by a user defined method, whatever you are creating for addition, subtraction, or any other functionality. You can choose to write these keywords before your method depending upon your use. If you are creating a method and you don't want to create an object for that class, for example, utility method, like a method that just returns current date and you have written it in a class, but you don't need an object for that class because that object is not having any state. I mean, why do you need to just create an object of a class just to get a date? So you should be able to directly call that method. In that case, you can use static keyword in front of that method. Okay, moving forward, void. Void means method does not return anything. So void is a return type which you have studied in C and C++ also. That void means it should not return anything. Instead of void, some method use various return types such as int, char, boolean, etc. So in that case, they have to return that particular data type. But if you are using void, that means your method should not return anything. There should not be any return statement in your method. Okay, then main is the name of your method. So like main is a main is the name that compiler has decided to keep. So you cannot modify that name. JVM will search for this name with this syntax only. Then you have to pass the arguments. The arguments are used to take users input. So whatever input you pass will get feeded into the string args array. So it's a string array and it will be feeded into this. And you can use this array in your further code just to take users input. After you have written a main method, it should be followed by opening and closing curly braces. And then in opening and closing curly braces, you can write your code. Over here, we just want to print hello world. So we have written the statement system.out.println and in a parameter, we have passed hello world. So over here, system is a class. Okay, so we are using this class name. And then out is a object. And what kind of object is this? It's a static object. So now we have just studied that to call a static method or a static object or a static variable, you don't need to create the object of your class. You can simply call that by using class name. So class name dot whatever is your method name or variable name, whatever is it. So we can simply call it. So over here system.out, out is a static object in a system class. So we are calling using the class name system and then we are using out, which is a static object in system class, and println is a method. So this method takes an argument which has to be a string. So that's why we have written it in double quotes, hello world. So out is a static object and this is a object of print stream class. So print stream is a predefined class in Java that is used to have a println method. So println is a method of a print stream class and out is a object. If your method is not static, you need to create a object for that. So for calling a println method, we need to have a object of print stream class. And over here, out is the object of print stream class, which is already defined as a static final field in system class. Okay. So in case like you are still facing problem in understanding system.out.println, then I would recommend just go to the Google and just try to find out the meaning. I can just show you how you can do that. I can show you a very useful link which still contains a very detailed explanation in case if you're still facing a problem in understanding it. So let me just show you. Okay, so this is a Stack Overflow link which I have came through just by searching system.out.println Java in a Google. And here is a very good explanation of this, which says that system is a built-in class in java.lang package. The class is a final modifier, which means that it cannot be inherited by other classes. So for now, you can just skip the meaning of this line in case it goes to the top of your head. Just understand that system is a built-in class in java.lang package. That's it for now. And then out is a static final field, which I have told you it's a static field. That means in system class, which is of the type print stream. So that means it is a print stream object and it is static and final. Okay, so for now, like I think this line is sufficient for you to understand that out is a object of print stream which is defined in your system class. Okay, and then out here denotes the reference variable of type print streams. Okay, then println is a public method in print stream class to print data, and we're calling that method using this object out. So, just to show you that how this is working, I can just, it's not a real implementation, but I can just show you like how you could imagine the things over here. So, I'm just opening a notepad. Just consider, it's a class, system class. Okay. So, it's not the actual implementation of system class, but I'm just writing a code just to make you understand it how it could be. Okay. So let's say it's a system class and it is having a static final field which is out. Okay. So I have created over here a static final and it's an object of print stream. Okay. So this is like a static final object of a print stream. Okay. So this is one class and then we have another class which is print stream. So just clarifying it again, it is not the actual implementation of system class or print class. It's just like I'm, simplifying it to make you understand that how things are in SOP. Now this contain a method println. Just assuming it's a public method. I don't know whether it is or not. And it does take string argument. So string arg. I'm just taking a string argument. And then over here we do have blah blah code to just print whatever is there as an argument. Okay, so this is just a very simplified explanation. If you are still very eager to see like how these classes are implemented, you can easily find it on a Google by just typing system class in Java. Okay, so it will give you the implementation of system class, but if you are new to Java, then I'm very sure that this could be too much heavy on you to read all this implementation. So for now, just don't go through all this. But yeah, if you are already familiar with Java, you know things about Java, then yeah, you can go ahead. Okay, so this was the explanation for our first Java program, which was a Hello World program in which we printed Hello World. And now what we are going to do is we are going to modify the Java program so that we can pass command line argument. As I have told you, like the main method can take arguments. So let's do that. Okay guys, so this is our Hello World program which we have created in our previous tutorial. So we have created a class hello world, then we have created public static void main method, and then we have written system.out.println statement to print hello world good morning. Okay. So just in order to make sure that everything is fine in this class, I'm just again going to compile this class and run this class just to ensure that everything is working fine in this class. So I'm going to type java c hello word.java. Oh, there's some problem. This class could not be loaded. Let's see why it is so. It should have been. Oh, the mistake is I have written Java. I have to write Java C because firstly I'm going to compile this. Okay, it's compiled. We are not getting any error. Now we can run it. Java hello world. Okay, so we are getting the output as hello world good morning. Okay, so this looks fine to me. It's properly running. Now we are going to modify it to take command line arguments. Okay, so in order to pass a command line argument, whenever you are running your program, you have to pass the argument with that. Like over here, I have to type Java, then name of your class file, which is hello world, and after that space, and after that, just type the argument you want to give. For now, let's say I want to type in my name, so I'm passing Deepika, okay, and just put enter. It still prints the same output because we are not doing anything with the argument. But yeah, like this I'm able to pass this argument. Now let's modify our code so that it utilizes this argument. So over here, I'm just going to write one more system.out.println statement in order to print the argument. Now, the argument that I have passed Deepika is coming in the string array. In order to print the string array, we need to give the index. So I'm giving the index arg0. So whatever is there in the string array on the 0th number. So 0th is the first index of string. So it goes like this, from starting from 0th, 1, 2 to like can give any number of arguments. So the first argument that you are going to give will be placed on the 0th index, and in order to print the first argument you have to print args0. Okay, so now let's see what changes are done. I'm going to again like recompile this program because I told you you have to recompile it every time you make any change in your program. And now I'm going to run it. Okay, Java hello world, and I'm passing Deepika. So you can see it's printing my name and then it's printing hello world good morning. So that is the expected output. I was expecting it to print my name over here since I'm passing arg0, and then I was expecting it to print hello world good morning. Okay guys, now what if I want to print, let's say, count from 1 to 5, and maybe I want to give it as a command line argument, or you can say I just want to print 5 numbers and those numbers will be given by user at command line. I don't want to hard code it like system.out.println 1, then 2, then 3. I just want user to put these number. Then how can I do that? Can I pass more than one argument? Yes, I can. Because this is a string array, it can take as many output as possible. So over here I'm passing like 5 numbers. So I have to print the string array up to 5th index. So I'm just copy pasting the SCP lines, and then I'm going to change the index. So over here arg0 and then arg1, and then I'm going to print the 3rd argument, and then I'm going to print the 4th argument, and then I'm going to print the 5th argument. So you can see in total it's now taking 6 arguments. Okay, starting from 0, 1, okay, I missed 2, then 3, and then 4. So yeah, it's taking 5 arguments starting from 0 till 4. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We need to pass 5 numbers and that can be printed. Okay, so now just run this code. I'm again going to compile it. Well, it's compiled. Now I need to run it. Java hello world, and just put a space between Java and hello world, then again put a space and pass your first argument. Let's say I want to pass 23 as my first number. Then I want to pass 34 as my second number. So just put a space, then 34, then again space. Then your third argument, which I think I want to pass 56. Then fourth, which is 70. And then fifth, which is 40. Now let's see that. You can see it's printing the first argument, that is 23, and then it's printing the second argument, that is 34, and here we want to print the second argument, that's why we have given the index as 1, and then it's printing your third, fourth, and fifth argument, and then your line hello world, good morning. So that is exactly what we wanted. Now let's assume I haven't printed my sixth argument, but I wanted, or by mistake, I have passed the sixth argument. So let's say I passed one of another integer, that is 78. Let's see what's the output in this case. Well, you can see it has still printed 5 numbers, because in my code I'm only printing 5 numbers. It won't give any error if you pass a sixth argument. That's because it will be able to take as many arguments as you want to give, but it's okay if you are not printing it. Now let's see, what if I pass 4 or 3 arguments instead of 5? I'm printing 5, but I'm passing 3 arguments. Let's see what's the output. Oh, here you go. You got an exception. So what it did, it just executed the first statement where it printed 23 when we are doing SOP args0, and then it printed the second argument, which is 34, using this statement, and then it printed the third argument 56 using the third statement. But then it want to execute this line, which is taking the fourth argument, and we haven't passed any fourth argument. So when it reaches this line, it throws an exception which says as java.rank.arrayIndex out of bound exception 3 at hello world main java 8. So that means array index out of bound exception means your array, that the value that you are going to print, is not getting passed. It's not having that value. So what value is not having? Which is at index 3. So on this line, it is not getting the value to print. That's why it has thrown a exception that your array index is out of bound. Okay, and you can just debug it. Like if you're not sure which line is throwing it, so it's also telling you like at hello world main, hello world java 8. So this is like the 8th line. You can just count it from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the line, 8th line, which is throwing you the error. So I hope so it's pretty simple and you'll be able to do this programming yourself. Okay guys, so that's it for this tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed learning your first Java program and configuring it to take the arguments. And now we'll study some of the more features in next tutorial. So thank you for now.